Hello YouTubes, this is one of the first locomotives to appear on my channel. Unfortunately, it's not running very well now. In fact, it's not running at all. What the f... On today's Fix It Friday, I'm going to try and revive this vintage loco. While I'm at it, I'm going to add a bit of extra weight because it's got to haul 5 carriages plus an end dummy unit behind it. And it's not quite got the weight for it. And also, I'm going to add a couple of LEDs. Right, let's get started. Let's see if I can remember how to get the shell off. We've got a tab there, a tab there, a tab at the back. But when I did my virgin version of this locomotive, I couldn't quite figure out how to get the shell off without removing the nose piece. See how that's coming apart there? Maybe we'll have better luck with this one. Oh, it keeps popping in the other side when I get this side off. Right, you're off. Stay. See, the problem is it's getting caught up at the front, but it's also got the tab at the back. So I wonder if I have to remove the back tab first or just take the trucks out. Let's see. Let's see if we can push that little tab in. As much as this is old and a bit crappy looking, I still like it, and I'd like it to not be a complete junker, you know? No, I don't see that coming apart very easily. This is going to get in my way. Now, I am actually going to desolder these wires for now, because I'm going to be stripping this down anyway, and at the moment it's just getting worse. So let me heat up the soldering iron, remove that black wire, remove that red wire. Just so we remember, coupler at the back, red wire at the back, okay? That's more for my reference than yours. Right, back in a sec. Okay, iron is hot. Let's get these wires off. What a mess. Who did that? Oh, look, we've got a loose wire. I wonder if that's the only reason that this hasn't been working. Interesting. Regardless, I'm going to take it apart and clean. You know what? Let's stop right there. Let us check and find out if that is the reason that this isn't running. I do have my handy little train track transformer hooked up, ready to go. So I'll just touch the wires to there and see if the motor runs. We'll give it half power. One wire to this side, one wire to that side. Yeah, that was an easy fix. Give it full power, see what happens. Right, you notice it was gradually speeding up. That would imply to me that this little motor needs just a little bit of TLC, so I'm going to remove the wires as I mentioned. And then we're going to strip this motor right down. Thankfully I've done one of these before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't need to take that one off. It's the other wire I need to take off. Okay. The motor is free. Now, we have something weird going on here for a start. I'm going to replace that little red wire. It's obviously seen better days, and I think that was shorting out. Not quite sure why. Oh, I know. So I think this wire here was actually supposed to be soldered on there, but it was kind of just dancing about between the two. Anyway, I'm going to take these little, what would we call these? Connectors, I guess. because they hold in your brushes down inside there and there. And I do like to take them out, give them a clean, make sure the springs aren't jammed, and clean the commutator if it's called a commutator in this. Right, let me see if we can get these off and not lose the little springs. Right, let's see if we can get this off. Okay, so whoever soldered this has melted the plastic and the tab is actually stuck to it, but that's okay. These off. Let's get this little spring out. And it seems to be stuck to the brush, which is kind of what I was talking about. Nah, it's okay, it's okay. Nope, false alarm, we're good. We'll get the other one off. Careful not to lose your spring. Well, that's interesting. This is actually the coupler. That would also explain what was causing a short. Let me remove this little spring in the brush. Doesn't want to come out. I'm sure it'll come out when we're not looking. Anyway, we'll leave that for now. So basically this coupler here is supposed to be in the front somehow. I'm not sure how though. I think it's missing something. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'll need to look at the other loco to find out how that's supposed to attach. But basically I think this was sitting in the mechanism in here and it was possibly shorting between a wheel and something that wasn't supposed to touch. Anyway, let's get into this. So I need to remove this half or this cover off the motor, and then we'll get into the... There's not really a lot to these motors, but we'll get inside here and we'll give everything a good clean. But let's get everything else out the way first. I'm going to remove all the gears for now. This makes life a bit easier. As much as that looks like it's conductive, it's not. It's really just a spring to hold in the gears. Oh, they need a right good clean. Grease is a bit congealed. Actually, that one looked a little bit worn in the middle. The centre hole looks a wee bit elongated. That's still turning without any resistance. Okay, that's all the gears out the way. Might as well remove the wheels. I think we just pull this tab out this way and that whole wheel cover will come off, like so. Oh goodness, years of dirt in there, like nasty. So that's getting cleaned. Also, wheels can come off. No, they can't. I think the only way to get these wheels off is to pull them apart because they're encased in a sort of cast iron bogie. Let's see, do I need to remove the wheels? Not really. Although I would like to clean that disgusting... Oh goodness. Let me give you an idea of what that's supposed to look like. This should run so much better when we're done. Yes, it's supposed to be a little bit of brass or copper in there. So filthy. I actually need to scrape the dirt off. Oh, goodness. Anyway, wheels. I do kind of want to remove them because I want to clean the contacts on these pickups. And as I say, the only way I seem to be able to do that is by levering the wheels apart. But that's okay, as long as I gauge them properly when I put them back on, we should be good. Oh, I remember now. These shafts are actually splined, which is really nice, because it means that they can't slip even if they're not quite as tight as you would like. Anyway, he'll pop out now. I'm wondering if that little brass centre section comes out. That's pretty solid in there. So probably an idea to put a little bit of lube in there as well to help them spin. Right, let me get the other wheel off. Lovely. I'm just checking the gear, looks fine. I'll give them a good clean as well. Right, so there's my pickups. They're pretty nasty, so they'll be getting cleaned. Oh, I forgot to put the gloves on. Oh well. And these pickups will be getting cleaned as well. Right, let's see if we can remove this cover and then we'll get into the motor. So we just stick a small screwdriver in there, lever gently, all the way around. Oh, there's a couple of wee clips here. Forgot about that. You see there? Clip that out the way. One there, and it comes out quite nicely. No clips at the bottom. Like so. Lovely. Something else to clean. Time for the gloves, I think. Okay, the one last thing I need to do is I need to remove this gear from the back of this centre of the motor. Otherwise we can't get it out. Do we need it out? Possibly not. If it's spinning okay, which it does feel like it's spinning okay. No, I'm just being lazy. Come on, let's get it off. So obviously I'm going to have to lever this gear off carefully again. I do not want to damage that. I can't really get into this to lever it properly, and I do not want to risk damaging it. So I think what we'll do is, goodness, decisions. Do I take the risk? I don't have any spares, so I can't risk damaging that. Now, let us just clean this gear up and clean up this commutator and everything else while we're at it. Right, cleaning section. Just see how bad this is first before I go all speedy. Might need to attack this with, let's see, fiberglass pencil, I think. I don't want to use anything more abrasive than the fiberglass pencil. I do have metal and brass versions of this pen, but this really should be super smooth, and I don't want to risk putting scores in it with them, so we'll just use this for now. I think that's a bit better. While we're in here, we need to get into these 3 grooves with a toothpick, I think. Make sure there's nothing in there to catch on the brushes. They're not very deep, so some of the, like the 5-pole motors, not the Ringfield type, but these grooves can be pretty deep in some motors. These are okay. Okay, that is fine. Happy with that. I'll clean this motor here, clean these contacts, and everything else. See you soon. Okay, that's all my parts nice and clean. I did find a couple of things I'm not keen on, and there's no way you're going to see them on camera. However, these little brushes, one of them has definitely been wearing at an angle. I don't have spares, so I'm just going to put them back in and hopefully they will wear themselves straight. Probably not, but it should run fine. Right, let us reassemble. We'll start with our motor cover, get that back on. Tell you what, the first thing I'm going to do, before I forget, is just put a tiny drip of oil down this side of that shaft. Because once I put the gears on, I won't have access in there. And I think I'm just going to use this oil throughout this install instead of grease. I just feel the grease just gets thick and gungy in this type of gear, but if you've had better experiences than me, then let me know. Right, let's get that cover on now. So he goes this way. And the two clips, the top there now. Not sure why it's been quite so stiff to go back on. It's definitely gone down the shaft okay. Let's get a little bit of oil on that shaft housing as well. Just want to make sure it's perfectly straight before we push that down. Why is this not going in nice? It came off nice. Well, there's actually 4 clips. Wow, okay, so future reference, the bottom 2 clips are actually way down inside there. It didn't seem to make much difference when I was removing it, but good to know for the future. Ah, there we go. All clipped in. Okay. Motor cover is on. Ah, there, it clipped a bit more there. Lovely. Still rotating, right. Let's get our little brushes and springs in. One there. One there. Spring number 1. So fiddly. Make sure you get a big table so that if anything drops, it's less likely to run away to the other side of the train room. Oh, just don't need tweezers, just stick it in with your fingers. Okay, let's get these little metal tabs on. One of these screws, screwdriver at the ready. This one goes down here. The spring does actually locate in this little raised nub. Let's call it a nub. It goes on there. Put the screw in the top. I know you don't need a running commentary. It's better than an awkward silence though, right? One down. Spring tried to run away, and again. I hate these things. Although they're not as bad as those tiny wee springs you get in KD couplers. They're just ridiculous. Okay, you over your locating nub. Screw it in there. I'm such a professional. Right, they're in where they're supposed to be. Let's get the gears on. Actually, before we do the gears, we should actually be able to just touch some wires to this. Make sure the motor's working at this point, okay? So, let's go one there and one there. I'll do this so that I can vary the speed. Sounds quite healthy. Right, we can proceed. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, gears. Right, so I've got the oil on. Big gear goes up this way. So the small ones must go on first. Small one there, small one there. And then the inside of this gear connects with the outer of that gear and connects to the motor itself, like so. And like so. Lovely. I can put our non-conductive clip on. Took my gloves off too early. Oh well. Lovely. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on this surface too, because that's going to rub against the little clip there. Hey, let's try another wee test run, shall we? Let's go that way. Make sure all my gears are turning nice. Okay. I think I just need a wee bit of oil on the teeth here. Never a fan of these motors with their wobbly gears, but hey, if it works. Not bad. Okay, stop playing about. Making a mess of my table with all this oil spatter. Yeah. Right. Wheels. Wheels, wheels, wheels. So, conductive side is there, so that needs to hit those little... Oh wait, they're both conductive. Interesting. I need to check and see which way around they were. You notice that they are completely different types of pickup. And they're going to be picking up from different places. The ones on this side are longer. So I'm guessing that the longer ones will be on the flat side of the wheel and the short ones are going to get in there, which I didn't clean properly. So let me give them a quick clean, because I didn't think they were going to pick up power, but obviously they do. Back in a sec. That was done cleaning. Goodness. Yeah, so it definitely picks up on that side as well. So on one side, the gears coming up to turn the wheel, and then the other side it's getting a pickup. That's interesting. I wonder if that means that the other set of bogies are also pickups, which is a bit of a surprise. But that would mean all-wheel pickup, but only four-wheel drive. Which isn't bad. I mean, they are pretty good locos when they're running. Just not heavy enough, but we'll address that situation shortly. Right, let me put this out of the way before I spill it like I did the last time. Get these wheels in. So obviously the gear one has to go on that side, so we can poke that one through there. Oh, oil down there. That will help things spin. Lovely. Geary one in there. Yeah, you can see where this pickup just touches the edge of that wheel there. I do need to get my gauge, make sure they're the right distance apart. Oh, that seems a bit too easy. Now, come in a little bit. That's too much. Oh no, that's fine. Maybe a wee bit close, but I'd rather they were too close and too far apart, to be honest. So if it doesn't run right, we can always adjust that. All right, let's get the other one in. I've got oil in there already. Push that through there. Nice. Okay. And of course we have to do another test. You should skate across the table when I do this. It's trying to. Oh, let's stick them in there. That's a good spot for them. I think just a little dribble of oil on this side of the teeth to get into the wheel teeth. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so that's that part done. You can poke him back through here. No, that's not what I meant to say at all. We can put this back on. And if you remember, coupler at the back with the red. So he goes, so confused that way. Red wire, coupler, clippity clip, and we're in. Oh, this actually comes off. That's interesting. But I need that because that's the back of the train. Need that to pull stuff. Okay, we can get it back on the train and get this wired up. However, I did say I wanted to put LEDs in the front of this, which means taking the shell off. So while I'm doing that, let's have a fun little experiment. I'm going to wire up the red wire to there, black wire to there, and I'm going to put this in the track, let it have a wee bit of fun going around the layout. Right, as much as it's all-wheel pickup, it does require the front bogie, which is also all-wheel pickup, to be attached to the motor itself. The problem is, remember what I was saying about the gears being next to the pickups? The gears have to be quite close for them to mesh, otherwise they just wobble and they don't mesh. But because there's a traction tyre on one of those wheels, it actually has to be quite far out for it to reach the other rail. But if it's too far out, it doesn't mesh. So what I've done is I've hooked it up to the main train, and we'll give it a blast around the track, make sure it all works before I install all the LEDs. That's better, nice and smooth, as it should be. Give it a bit of power, make sure it goes round full blast round the track. Oh, come back, come back, come back, come back. Make sure the reverse works anyway. Yeah, we're all good. Back to the bench. Right, I managed to salvage a couple of weights from junk locos. Let's see, I've got this big giant one here, and I do have a nice space. That looks a bit goofy. I don't want to have to cut these down. And I've also got this one here. That sort of fits. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere now. I do have plenty of height. I've got like way up to here inside the shell. There is a divide there, but the divide would be roughly there at the back. So that's fine. I don't really care that it's at an angle, as long as it doesn't come this way. If it comes too far forward, then the front bogie can't turn. So I think it can rest about there. Let's get a bit of double-sided tape on that. We can locate it. There we go. No one will know what's going on inside except me and you guys. What am I doing? Let's stick that on there first. The hardest part of the job, peeling off the backing from double-sided tape. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, stick that in here. Like so. Lovely. It's not going anywhere. Excellent. Might as well throw that in the track, make sure it works. That works fine. Excellent. So, I'm not going to show you the whole LED install. I did one already on the Virgin version of this. Virgin Railway version of this. So, link up there if you want to see it installed front and rear LEDs to that locomotive. I'm only going to do the fronts in this one because, quite frankly, I'm not going to be running it in reverse anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll see you when we're ready to test it on the track. LEDs. We are all cleaned, lubed, rewired, and LED'd. Let's see if it makes a difference. Well, it should at least run. Right, let's give it some power. LEDs are lovely. A lot quieter than it used to be. But then it's a lot heavier than it used to be as well. I just hope there's enough weight to pull all its coaches. Let's bring it back and find out. Good luck, little loco. It will need a fair bit of power for this hill. Oh, it's struggling, but it's getting there. First time ever it's managed to pull all these coaches up this hill. Can it handle the rest of the track though? Not bad at all. It's a wee bit on the noisy side, but that's mostly from the coaches, to be honest. Running well though. It's getting up the big steep hill. Slowing down a little bit, but that's to be expected. It still needs 2 new traction tires. I'm happy with that though. Right, thanks for watching everyone. That was quite successful, and I'm getting better at these round-field motors. Still not a huge fan, but they seem to work. All they need is a bit of a clean up. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Bye for now.